Morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We're on a 365-day inner journey together, so happy and grateful to have you along. We're on day 230 of that journey. Today's message is your energy. Not only, hey, your energy, clean it up. It's a little negative. And you are your energy. You are energy. You are energy. All in the same thing. Check your energy, but you remember your energy. So you have the ability to check your energy and make sure it's moving in the right direction. Or you can help yourself shift and move it into a new direction. Yourself. That's the best thing. That is the best thing, to be able to shift yourself, not needing other things to shift you, not needing distraction to shift you. You have the ability to do it right then and there. Boy, that does take practice in this world. This world wants to own your attention. It wants to own your emotions. It wants to take you out of them all the time, take you out of your centered self all the time with exciting new things, exciting new explosions and wars and everything else that keeps us out of whack to who we really are to each other, keeps us out of whack to who we are to each other, in the truth of who we are to ourselves and our true connection to the divine. Okay? So your energy, I write about life mostly from the perspective of our many internal energies. And I think that's the very best way to explain it. Once I understood this myself, it began to live more from my higher vibe, which means higher vibe doesn't mean, I'm running around like, I got all this, I'm plugged in and I, hyperactive. No, the higher vibe means that you're living from the deeper self, the deeper knowing of who you are. So you live more centered, not hyperactive in high energy, but the ability and the energy of purpose. And you're focusing that energy. You're not letting your energy leak out all over the place, but you're focusing it on the talents and gifts and the most important things that you cherish in your life, right? And I always say that it starts with knowing God, starts with knowing who you are, starts with knowing your relationship to the divine, that you are a cup of that divine, your divinity itself in a human form for a little while. That's the foundation of knowing, okay? That's the foundation of all truth. You are the energy of that. And so is everything that you see that's created by vibration. And it's everything is just vibrating in shapes in this lower density world. And we are the universe vibrating in these individual shapes with individual journeys, individual missions, and certainly individual stories that we're meant to have. And these are all stories that we create ourselves. And there are stories of learning and growing that we're living. We get to live a story. We get to create a story. We are each a story. So when you take command of your story and start writing it in the direction you want it to be, well, there you go. Then you realize you're the writer, the producer, the director, and the star of your own book. And that's what you want to leave behind, is a good one, so that others can say, you know what? I like that kind of way that they walked. Well, it is a way. And I certainly have looked at the way other people walk in my life, and I say, yeah, I see the best of how they're walking. I love it. And I kind of want to implement that in my own way. It's a great characteristic, of a good human. And you you admire it. Well, you admire it because you are also it. And you can also see when the character flaws, you can see them because you have those as well, because we all have those as well. So what do we do with those supposed flaws? They're all opportunities. Those flaws are opportunities to grow and say, I transmuted that flaw into a power. I alchemized it into a power from something that used to crush me in some way, something that I used to take so seriously that it brought me into a completely different emotional state. That it had that power over me. and it was from the outside. Well, you don't give that outside stuff that power anymore. You realize you are the power, right? So that's just how you roll with that understanding, and you walk in that understanding, and you watch your own gifts unfold in front of you that you didn't think you had, and you're certainly the ones that your ego was telling you don't even bother looking for that because it didn't know it. But God knows what you have in you, and says keep going. There's more there. You know how much I packed in you. You know how much I packed in you, and you haven't even looked at it yet. Right. That's the inner journey, to understand what you've got in there and to unpack it in the most beautiful ways, rather than the outside world telling you how to live and what's most popular and what's the thing of the day, rather than living from that pull that you have inside of you to do that special thing or those special things that you do or in that special way that you do it. Whatever it is, go follow that divine pull, not the pull of the world, but the pull from your heart space, and speak from that place and treat others from that place, the place that you would like to be treated, the place that you would like to be treated. We treat others. And that is simple magic of who we really are, love. It's what we are to each other in heaven, in all knowing, in remembrance. Heaven is remembering who we are. We go back to remembering who we are, and it's like, oh, okay, we played a little human for a while. What'd you learn? What'd you learn? Well, listen to this. Like, what is these stories I got to tell you? It's like what you learned at summer camp, and you're going back to school. What I learned over the summer. Well, that's basically what the human journey is like. All the foibles and the frustrations and the victories and the fun and the, trials and tribulations and tragedies. It's all part of our story. So, and we chose to come here and live one. So how do we want to walk once we understand that we came here and chose to live this adventure? Because it is an adventure for eternal souls to have a human experience. It's definitely an adventure, but it is one that is lots of purpose beneath the chaos, a big purpose beneath the chaos of this place. And it is to remember, because what's the ultimate adventure is to forget and then to remember. It's like coming out of amnesia. Wait a minute, who am I? I thought I was just that. No. You're a cup of the divine, and it's bigger than our little puny minds can handle, because we're supposed to be immersed in this play to learn. So it has to be completely immersed, no feeling in here. Yet you still have the knowing of, yeah, I'm going back home after this play is over, but I want to bring my best to it. I bring my best to it. So that it was a story of service rather than greed, with what mostly the world wants us to be in is just the low natured stuff. So we're really artists. We're really all artists. And when we pick up the brush and start painting more purposefully, well, we create masterpieces. So that is what your life is your personal masterpiece. Start getting in that envisioning of yours, and ask yourself what you want that to look like from this day forward. And that's what this is about, your energy. What energy is going to carry you there? It's Godspeed. It's connection to the divine. It's knowing who you are, walking in your light and discarding old stories that are heavy and not worthy of the soul that you've just decided to remember that you are. Okay? So if we have a constant daily goal and intention to live as, as free as possible, as free, which means as centered and knowing and balanced as possible. Balanced. I am spirit, but I'm grounded in knowing that I'm a human, and I'm here to have a human experience. So I'm going to use what gold God gave me to have that experience and to share it that way. So we'll find our lives begin to smooth out and we get easier about life, even though bumps can come. We get easier about those bumps because we know we're not bumping around alone. No, God's gone those bumps with us. We will be easier to accept ourselves and those around us when we realize that each of us possess the dark side and the light side. It's just the balancing of like the masculine and the feminine, and that there is reasons for both, reasons for both to be a complete human. to be whole, the human and the spirit, the dark and the light, the heavy and the light, right? What we feel as emotions heavy, they're necessary for us to recognize what we need to give ourselves. Why are we feeling that heaviness? What love aren't we giving to ourselves? How aren't we loving ourselves? That's mostly the question. Why? Why do I feel jealous of this person? Why do I feel, um, you know, I don't have enough? And why do I feel that I am not enough? Those can all be stories somebody else told you or made you feel, and then you would just believe them and agree to it and keep agreeing to it. Break your agreements. You got to break those agreements, right? Read the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Listen to it on audio tape or read it. Extremely great, beautiful, impeccably written book that helps you to know who you really are, okay? And what your four agreements need to be. You're breaking a lot of old ones, and you keep these four, and you work with these four, and you walk in these four. And it's just more you than you'll ever have known before. More you than you'll ever have known yet to this point. And then just keep expanding in that. Watch yourself, feel yourself expand. Like I said, you may look no different to other people, but inside you're more spacious. You're more centered, you're more giving, you're more light. You know, you're not the worry wart that you used to be. I said that before. My mom, I would hear her say when I was young, "Oh, Mark's a little bit of a worry wart." It's like, Ma, did you call me a wart? As if the worry part wasn't enough for me to handle. God love it. All of those 70 sayings. I just love them all. They're just the funniest stuff. And the worry wart. So the cure for all this, all parties concerned, is to understand that we all fight this battle, and everyone needs to shine their light on the friend or family member that. I'm reading some of yesterday's at the 10. Did you guys get off of getting the 10 yesterday? So I want to think about your personal energy as a radio station. As a radio station, because we all are like that. We are all frequencies, a bunch of them, and we can transmit our energy right onto other people, and other people we can go, oh geez, I just picked that up and now I'm buzzing like that. He told me that horrible story, and that reminded me of my Aunt Marge, and she went through the same thing, and now I'm back down in there, and lost land and not in my centered self. I'm entertaining old woes. I'm entertaining old stories again. I'm bringing them back up on the screen of my mind, which does what to my radio station? Yeah, down for some nice Skynyrd on 106 down here. Down here to where it's like, it's kind of static. You can't hear anything, right? You can't hear the truth of who you are down there. It's like, and then you hear some little talk and a little music and all this other stuff. It's not really clear down there. The higher you move up, the clearer things get, okay? In your own energy, right up to your heart space, listening, letting that feed you, right? You can hear the radio station a lot better. It's clarity. So I want you to think about your personal energy as a radio. And in the lower end of the dial, you're 88.1. It goes all the way up to 107.5. And when we're living from the low frequencies, the songs in our lives can be sad, depressing, angry, jealous, envious, lacking, and fearful of the unknown. Yeah, we all know that station. It's the one they keep on most often on purpose for us to just tune into. Stay tuned into this. Don't tune into who you really are. Don't ever tune into that. Then we lose control and you stop fearing. And then what? Then where will we be? Oh my God. Where would we be? We'd be back in the garden. The earth would be the garden again, right? So we have the power to do that. We have the power to change. We have the power to change ourselves. You don't think we have the power to change what these ass nuts have been doing? Come on, we certainly do. Just putting our lights together, putting our best selves together. Above all the stuff, above all the labels of separation. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, and I only agree with this, and I only agree with that, and blah, 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 blah. We've been trained like monkeys. We've been trained like monkeys to separate in absurdities so we don't remember who we really are to each other. I mean, come on, that's the game. That's the game of separation, divide and conquer, even in our own country. Good Lord. My God, there's so many people I love that the news tells me I have to hate because they have this opinion or that opinion. Jeez, I got to hate them? Man alive. No, no, I don't. No, I do not have to hate them. I have to love them. It's what we all need is more love. More love brings us into the awareness of who we are. So more love is needed, not less. So this is how we remember. Love is remembrance. And division is just, it's evil. It's evil. The division and the masters of division are the evil ones. So guess what we are in truth? The truth that quells all of that stuff in the higher radio station of who we are. We come together in that frequency. And that's the frequency of remembrance. It's called consciousness. Consciousness is the highest frequency. It is where what Jesus taught. Jesus didn't come here to teach religion. Jesus came here to teach consciousness, that we all are a cup of the divine, the light, that he says, you can do even greater things than me. You know, she's his words, not arrogantly. All of us, not yours only, you're special, and you're special because you wear this kind of stuff, and you're special because you have those slippers. Come on. We are all that. We're all that. And wherever there are, the walls that are guarding secret religious secrets and all that stuff, shouldn't everything be transparent? Shouldn't everything be transparent? Right? That's truth. So, at any rate, that's all of us, though. We all want to just understand what that means, and we can all rise together. So, it's frequency. It's vibration and frequency. Hey, what's your vibe like? Well, come on over here and I'll tell you. This is what it is about. Or are you seeing? Or are you seeing? Just to say, all right, we're going to play. Let's have as much fun as we can have here and let the division masters go destroy themselves. Let them destroy themselves in the absurdity, the weight of its own absurdity. Let's let it crash and crumble like a house of cards that it actually has been built upon. Sand, division, evil, greed, and mucho stupidity. So Jesus is coming back to turn the tables over. Yeah, that's what it is. We're all getting the tables turned over so we can see the light ourselves and say, oh my God, what a horrible game. What an insidious game we've all been living under and within. So in order for us to have a great higher frequency more of the time, we simply must practice being at the higher frequency as a constant. This will be difficult and probably the most challenging life change you can choose, but the payoff is indescribable and so worth it. What you really have to do is calm. What you really have to do is learn to be a calm, centered self, and your answers come to you. It's not so much that you have to do. It's more that you have to just be, is what I found. You have to get out of the static for a while. You have to give that gift to yourself. You have to give your gift to that calm, away from other frequencies, so you can tune into your own. We're so busy being around the same stuff all the time that we never give ourselves time to tune in to our own transmission and reception to our relationship with the divine, our personal relationship with the divine. That can seem like it's, what does that even mean? You come to it. It's a coming to over time. And that's why I say silence meditation, just sitting in gratitude for all the blessings that you have been given, because you have been given many, but your ego will talk you out of those and tell you that all of your tragedies are far worse than the blessings that you've had. So if you want to have more blessings, then you have to be a blessing to yourself and give yourself that time just to connect and be with that presence. And there's a lot of stuff in there that you're saying, oh man, it just hurts to be alone in that space. I feel so alone. I feel like I can't, concentrate and all that stuff, but it comes. Keep going. Keep going back. Keep going back until you start going, that is a nice time that I give to myself. And that's just only the beginning. Keep going back. Keep giving yourself that time. Eventually, your ego goes, oh, this is the time we calm down. This is the time I kind of shut up for a while. And that's how you train your ego to say, all right, it's not all about 3 alarm fires all the time. I don't have to live in 3 alarm fires all the time. I can give myself the gift of my own peace. But in this world, it is something you do have to give to yourself, because nobody's going to give it to you. Everybody just wants to give you, here's what I think you should do. This is time just for you to listen to your own directions and your own guidance. All right. So clarity comes, but you have to practice being with it, with clarity. And that's lessening the noise of our lives and giving ourselves the gift of that. So while you're up and down on that frequency, just tune in to turn it off for a while and live in your own frequency. And then eventually the stuff that doesn't belong, you'll see clearly. And you go, I can't do that anymore. I don't feel good when I do it. And my time here sitting with the divine, I don't feel as clear anymore if I'm doing this or that or the other thing, or I spend my time in that space rather than here. Because here's where you hear what the best way forward is, just for you. Just for you. So take that time. You're the gift to yourself. Or we can be our worst enemy to ourselves, can't we? Well, there's the choice. But there's a doorway to each. Doorway to your ego is easy. Just turn on the TV or go outside and get into an argument. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just look at something that pisses you off and you don't like. Easiest thing in the world. But what's great about that? Not much. Not much, especially if you're trying to live closer to the heart. As one of the best bands in the world, Rush, would sing, one of the best songs ever. Rush is Closer to the Heart. And isn't it a truthful song? Man alive. Those guys have some soul. Man, they have some soul. It's 2112 with one of the best albums ever. So, at any rate, I digress into Rush stuff. In order to gain momentum and move up the dial, you must first declare to yourself, I'm going to make this journey up the dial part of my life's work. And it'll only bring to me the life that I deserve, that I deserve. Well, the life that you deserve is the one you give yourself. And it's the one, to me, that if you're walking with God and you're walking with that light, that it's just, you won't miss what you deserve. You won't miss it. It won't miss you. So you can't miss it. And what's meant for you will be beautiful. It'll be beautiful because you're walking hand in hand with your forever self, rather than just banging off with your ego all the time, living from the outside in, right? Live from the inside out. So once you declare it for yourself, the real work begins. Your ego's not going to like that. The real work begins once you declare it. Never sway from this goal. Never give up, and never give your ego's demand to stay stuck in a mediocre life. Mediocrity is only found in the lower stations. Living that life at 107.5 is always on your mind. Well, I can say that living more centered is just, it's a giving space. It's a giving from your heart, from your best self, whether that's just your everyday beautiful humanity, your kindness, your humor, something that you can mentor somebody with, all of those things that you would do if the world wasn't such, you just got to do it. So you want to create the world that you want to live in. So if we all just did a little bit more of that, boom, it would be done. It would be done. It's just it's a click. It's not that big a deal for us. It's a click to the right, and everything changes. Right thought, right mindedness, right thought, right speech, right action. All thought about with intention and on purpose. So then you just grab the wand. You just grabbed your own wand of your own magic. What do you want to create with that? Well, in that higher station, that's where all the gold. It's like you got your Midas touch wand there. Okay? So live with that. You are it already, my friend. You are it already. So living life at 107.5 is always on your mind and your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Living in this frequency brings you all the beauty of life because you recognize the beauty of life in that frequency. You stop to smell the roses. You actually stop and sniff them roses. I was sniffing one at Crooked Lake yesterday doing landscaping. I go, this rose bush is still out and I'm blooming. And man, was it fragrant. I almost put Gino over there. It's like, hey, stealing those gloves. Let me put your face in these thorns for a second and smell this rose. Gino and I have a great time together when we work together. We laugh like pirates. Okay, so once you declare this for yourself, the real work begins. Never sway from this goal and never give up. Living life at 107.5, always on your mind and your thoughts and your words and actions. Living in this frequency brings all the beauty of life. Great new friendships based on honesty and trust and integrity, because they're flying in that same eagle mode. Eagle mode, the highest flying bird. You have it in there. It's in there. It's called your heart space. That's where you fly the highest. Create from that place, and you'll know your eagle self. Happiness on a daily basis is the vehicle you move forward in. Fun and laughter are part and parcel to your everyday life. Great marriage, great relationships with your children, or fun adventures, financial and personal prosperity, and dreams come true. All of this is found in the higher stations of life. You can get stuck in your ego and you get stuck in arrogance and you can get stuck in that, well, I don't have to care about any people anymore. I got all this money. Screw everybody else. This is F you money, and then you don't care anymore. Well, no, that's not the way it is. You've lost yourself there. You've lost yourself. You've got to realize that it's always a giving. It's always just expressing light. Express your light the best you can. It's going to be different from day to day. And that's part of that book from Don Miguel Ruiz, that giving your best. And your best can change from day to day, obviously, with life circumstances. I'm kidding you that it's going to be all the time. No. But when you realize and you've worked on it for a while, then you've got a new level of it that is higher than the one that you used to have. It's like you've grown. So if one of those tunnels comes, you're not going way back down here, back to where it used to be. No. You've grown, so you're at least here. You're at least here and seeing things in a completely different way, and walking through that other tunnel a different way than you would have in the past. That's growth. That's personal growth. You're doing it better. You're doing it differently. You're doing it from a higher perspective. You're doing it from the knowing rather than a guessing. You're doing it from a knowing rather than a not believing and just thinking you've got to do it all yourself. And how am I ever going to do any of this stuff? And you're not giving God a chance in the door at all to say, hey, hello, here to help. That's what your angels are always saying, your spirit God, here to help. Just give me a call. Say, hey, listen, I need some help with this because my ego has got me in a whirl and I really need to calm this down. What do you think spirit would say? All right, well then calm down. Calm down. And your ego's going, but I can't. And your soul's going, come here and sit the hell down and shut up. Shutty uppy that for a little bit. It will come. Just sit. Just sit and breathe. So much of what the emotional trauma is that's going on in our head that can fill our whole space in here with tension and stress can be alleviated by at least 50% with 3 deep breaths. I got this. I don't know how I got this, but I got this. Give it one more. And you got this. Okay? Look up. Give yourself 3 pounds on the chest and give some space if you need to, or get back to it. But give yourself the rest. Give yourself the time to come down from, Witch Mountain. Escape to Witch Mountain. Come down from Witch Mountain and back into your soul self, your remembrance, and a remembrance why you know you got this. Why you absolutely know you got this, because it's not the you that is your ego. Your ego may be used to carry out the got this, but it's your soul that's going to have the answer. There's a spiritual solution to every issue. You've just got to say, okay, well, that's up on a different channel than this tension that I've got. How do I get to that different channel to hear that calm and be in that calm essence where the answers come more readily. It's the gift you practice every day, giving yourself that space, giving yourself that silence. And your higher radio station will just tune in over time on its own, from you taking the intentional time to declutter your mind, declutter all those thoughts, and just live in that spacious house for that time every day for a little while. It rejuvenates you. And over time, you'll see that in the first week, couple of weeks, you'll be like, it's kind of a waste of time, whatever that is. Your ego's going to yap. Your ego's going to yap until you get it. So let it yap and keep going, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's all the ego is. It's just a bunch of fear reactions. It gets you all out of sorts. And, like I said, fear is okay for survival. But what about thriving? The fear can be a great initial motivator because, well, I better get moving here. Oh, man. But as you get going, you got to move into the higher gear, the higher station, the higher frequency of creativity and I canville, right? All right. You start with giddy up. Okay. You can use the flame on your ass for that. But once you giddy up, giddy going and crush it. Okay. That's how you alchemize things. That's how you take what looks like a bag of dog shit and you turn it into a big bag of gold. You take it to town, put it on the scale. So, and hope rustlers didn't see it going in with it. So the path to a great artist of giving demands that you continuously choose your colors in every moment and each interaction. So when you learn to give some space between your thoughts and your deeds, you'll become the artist of your life, choosing to give your light away freely instead of the shallow offerings of your ego. This always produces a canvas of beauty and appreciation. So it's just giving from your best self, and it's a choice. It's like, yeah, but I was in a terrible mood, so I was just being fake, and I treated somebody kindly. I was just being fake. I really, I felt like I had to be kind there, but I was really feeling down. Well, that kindness wasn't fake. That kindness was strength because you were listening to your ego and you were letting it bring you down, but you still had empathy and kindness for somebody else while you were struggling. That's strength. That's your strength. The other is the facade. The strength is to give yourself that kindness and say, yes, you can do it too. Look in the mirror and say, you're doing it. You get up. You keep going. I'm proud of you. Say it to yourself. I'm proud of you. You got back up again. You love yourself back up. You love yourself back up. That's what Jesus told you have in you. Use it. Use it. Use the can do. God is the can do. God is the God of can do. God is not whispering you can't do it. Never. Ever, ever, ever. That's fear. God does not give us fear. We can feel fear in this dense dimension, and we can mistake it as us, but it is not us. We are the light that prevails. We are the light that came to protect. We are the light that came to take over the grid and get rid of all the schmuckies and the schmuckiness so we can all live better with each other. Smiles on our faces that are real, not with fear behind them, but with creativity and love behind them, sharing, so that we can all learn from each other's beauty and talents. Then you watch them come out. When you don't have fear, watch your talents pour out of you. It is. You got gold in them thar hills. You have to recognize it. Okay? So once you realize where your personal energy has been on this radio station of life, you'll begin to understand why you've been constantly attracting what you've been giving as your frequency to the world. You attract to yourself what's held in the frequency you're living and giving, what you're living in, what's in your house, what are you emanating all the time from that house. And you attract to yourself what's in that field, in that frequency you're giving and living in. Who you choose to become will decide what kind of life and circumstances you will bring to yourself. It's totally an inside job, and it never fails you up or down the dial. It is our choice, and it is our responsibility. Ego hates that word, responsibility. Wait, what? I just can't be a take a pill and be normal? No, we're in complex vessels here of polarity, complex vessels that have polarity, negative and positive, and everything in between. So we have to learn to become great navigators of ourself, life coaches for ourself, starting with the foundation of truth. And that's where we become the best life coaches for ourselves. Our inner talk, our inner speech reflect outwardly in our actions, right? The good stuff, intentionalizing your life from morning to sleep. You wake up the next day. I intend the best for this world, and I'm going to do my best to bring my cup of it to it. Okay, my ego may not be happy with a lot of it, but I will overcome that, and I will stay as centered as I can be, and as much in my 107.5 as I can be. And if I'm down there at 99.5, that's okay too. It's just my best for the day. But recognizing that I'm still doing that best for that day and giving it the old college try. Okay. Or it, and also certainly if you've got some friends that are higher up on the dial that day and you're low, and there's somebody that you can talk to, boom, that might just take that weight right off of you, and you're back up the dial. So we can all be that for each other. So if you've got that opportunity, you know what to do. CTA, from today forward, declare that you will only choose to move up the dial for yourself and for others. Giving your brighter station outwardly gives light, beautiful, attractive energy to the world, and without question, it will return to you tenfold in so many exciting and unexpected ways. What you put out must come back. It is law. It is universal, energetic, spiritual law. So if you walk in your highest essence, you're just going to be doing the best you could have possibly done here. And that will have been more than enough. More than enough. Click up the dial, my friends. And it's just a little click a day. No big overarching things. Be mindful of it and watch what comes out of you. All right. So do that today. Much love and light, and we'll see you tomorrow.